Good afternoon to our Sacred Heart community here in Medford and our St. Joseph community in Jacksonville. This is my first ever video message from the pastor. Today is Tuesday afternoon on the 17th of April. As many of you know, as of yesterday on the 16th, we got some very heavy news from our Governor Kate Brown regarding further limitations on the size of congregations that could meet publicly. The number has been limited to 25 people. And as a result of that, the Archbishop had to meet with his staff and to try to make a determination of how to most effectively respond to that. We had previously been working with a limit of 250 people, and we were trying to figure out how to split up congregation size. Every parish was handling it in a bit of a different way, but as soon as this new quota hit, 1/10 of the previous size, he had to make the very difficult decision to suspend all public masses, effective from Monday yesterday through April 14th, which is the Tuesday after Easter Sunday. Obviously, the heaviest thing about this is the entirety of Holy Week has been suspended in terms of public masses. I want you to know that although we have 3 priests here, the prohibition from the Archbishop is not about mass size, it's about public mass in its entirety. And so we are, in obedience to him, we are suspending public masses. But you should also know that each one of us, 3 priests, we are offering a private mass. And the intentions of all of these masses is for the end to this coronavirus crisis, and especially for those members of our congregation who are most heavily being impacted by it, either medically or financially. We know that this is going to have a lot of ripple effects on our society, and many people are already feeling the pain of some of these necessary decisions for the sake of public health. So please know that, but I also need to let you know, just in general, because of these guidelines, virtually all of our services have been suspended, not only masses, but by mandate from the governor, our school also had to close effective yesterday through at least until the end of March. They will reassess it toward the end of March to see if it needs to continue to be closed through April. Our religious education program, our Sunday school, also uses that space, and as a result, we've had to suspend that as well due to numbers. And religious education in general, from the children's programs all the way up through my adult Bible study class, have also been suspended. In addition, regionally, all of our regional reconciliation services for Lent that have not yet taken place have been canceled. Our Stations of the Cross celebrations that normally we've done on Fridays in English and Spanish with a soup supper in between, those have all been suspended. All of our food services have been suspended for safety. And at this point, these further restrictions have even led us to our current guideline, which is we're asking for volunteers of the parish not to report in to the campus grounds. The only thing that we are still providing at this point is access to our adoration chapel, because its size and the number of seats restrict numbers to what is within the current legal restrictions. We're also maintaining one-on-one appointments, couples counseling, small group counseling, although I must tell you, virtually all of my private appointments from yesterday were canceled, not by me, but by those who were intending to come in out of health concerns. So we're doing our best to maintain that access if you come in for spiritual direction, consultation, or counseling. Individual confession by appointment we're doing through our office, and some of our staff are choosing in part to work a bit from home, but beyond that we don't have services available. I want to take a moment to also answer a few frequently asked questions just based on the phone calls we received today. The phone has been ringing off the hook this morning. So I've already mentioned about Mass and confession times being suspended. That includes the regular Saturday confessions. Those will be closed off. We have restrictions on weddings and funerals at present time. We're not allowed to have more than 25 people. We're saying immediate family only. If you in an emergency you have to have a funeral, or if pre-scheduled weddings. Unfortunately, I know this is a hardship for people, but we have to restrict the guest list or reschedule those events. Um, we're trying our very best to post things electronically, so we would encourage you to visit our website at sacredheartmedford.org, or there's a link there also with our Facebook page. We have on YouTube televised our classes in the past. Last weekend we filmed one weekend mass. Just due to production quality and the poor sound quality from our location, this week and going forward, we're going to recommend links of other sites like EWTN or Word on Fire or our cathedral. But the Archdiocese is putting together a resource book which is going to indicate local parishes where live streaming of the Mass will take place. I've thought in lieu of that for myself, each Sunday I will deliver a kind of homily, in this type of setting, really from the desk, not necessarily from the liturgy, though I will be celebrating a Mass, but just so that you have a message for the week. Probably we will also make an attempt, if the posting of these first videos goes smoothly, to put up a video each day, 1 to 3 minutes, some kind of spiritual encouragement for people. Mass intentions was a question people had for scheduled Mass intentions. We're going to suspend and reschedule those because the Masses that we are currently celebrating, the private Masses, the intention is going to be the same for all of them. I'm praying for the end to this coronavirus crisis and for our faith community and for especially people being most impacted by it. So that's going to be a communal type of intention that we'll keep up, and we encourage you to try to participate with us spiritually with a spiritual communion. But if you go on Facebook and on our webpage, you'll hopefully have some new video content from time to time that will keep you informed about what's going on. We're also posting signs on all of our buildings just so that people who drop in, maybe who don't have access to the internet, will see the basic guidelines that we have. We're running an announcement in the newspaper to this effect also. And as always, just as I mentioned on Sunday, we are prepared to make adjustments by the hour. I had mentioned at all the English Masses I was at this weekend that this would be a possibility that Masses would be canceled. I'm looking at states such as Ohio and Washington, who seem to be ahead of the curve on harsher measures, and they're a pretty good predictor about things that might still come for us in Oregon. We may have further steps that we have to take, although we're in a pretty strict situation as it is. We're trying our best to be in compliance with the Archdiocese and with the state, and to be mindful of your health, because we can. There are a lot of things we can replace, but we can't replace you. So, especially for those people at risk, it is an act of charity at this point for people to stay home and to avoid crowds. And I would say, based on things I've seen, for instance, at the local grocery stores and other areas, this is a time for us as people of faith to witness charity and to witness calmness. And I do believe that God doesn't allow these kind of things to happen unless something greater or more glorious could come out of it on the other end. Amongst the possibilities might be, as we make further efforts to use technology to assist people who are homebound now, maybe those are services we could continue in the future, so that we are expanding our ability to evangelize and share our faith. But I think on a personal level, I hope that people will come away from this experience having a greater appreciation for the Mass, the ability to attend Mass, the ability to receive the Eucharist, and that maybe they will develop a deeper thirst, that kind of thirst I spoke about last Sunday, for the Eucharist, so when we can fully begin to return to communion and normal activities, we won't take those things for granted in the future. I hope you all stay strong, pray for one another, be a good witness in this time of crisis, and most assuredly, for those of you who are young, this is probably a story you'll be able to tell your grandchildren about the Lent of 2020. I'm hoping that you will delve deeper into your own personal prayer life as those public opportunities of worshiping together have been eliminated, that we develop those other sides of our spiritual life and that we come out of this stronger regardless. God bless you all. Stay tuned for more updates and take care of yourself. We'll see you soon.